Hey there guys, this is Obsidian Chill. Got another video for you today. This is going to be the first in the series of videos from the DC test server. This is going to be episode 34, Justice League Dark. What I plan to do is separate videos for each type of content. So, for example, in this video, we're going to have the duo, we're going to have some open world missions, and one of the examples of the weekly bounties included in one video. Then the next video will probably be the alert. There'll be a video on each raid, the elite raids if I run them on test, as well as I'll do another breakdown video where everything you need to know, like max CR, augment changes, stats on the new consumables, vendor gear, stuff like that. So basically everything you need to know. It's a similar concept to what I did for the Atlantis DLC, just with this one. So I already have the... do I have the alert done? Not sure if I record, but yeah, essentially I'll try to spread it out over like every few days just so you're not completely spammed with content all at once. But I do plan to get every piece of test out to you guys. So this is going to be the duo, like I said before. We're just starting out here. This is the first time I ran it, so if I'm a little confused sometimes, what I'll do is I'll do kind of a commentary on each section, and then you'll kind of have some music around the background for the rest. With the duo itself, you start out basically in the Oblivion bar, and then you head to a newer part of the mission. So this, I should say as well, it's kind of subject to change as well, because each content could see some minor tweaks and stuff over the 2 weeks. So if you see something in these videos, it may not necessarily mean that's what's going to come onto live at. There's certainly going to be aspects of the duo that change. This beginning part, for one, there's no cutscene skip. I know the devs put a lot of work and resources into doing these cutscenes with the voice actors and everything. But the thing is, if you're going to be doing this duo every single day for 3 to 5 months, depending on how long the DLC lasts, it can kind of get pretty dragged on to watch this cutscene every single day. So I do believe that you need to add a cutscene skip. It is kind of a lengthy cutscene. It's probably the same as the Atlantis solo, and they put a cutscene skip into that one. But since it's a duo, they may not do it, just because there's 2 players in it, so the other player may want to watch it. But that's just my opinion. It's a fairly long cutscene. So basically, in the first part, you're just talking to demons. You just have to go up and talk to each one, and then basically they trigger the cutscene where you talk to John Constantine. And then after this is the other part that might change as well. Basically, Clarion, turns a bunch of demons to attack you, but they come out in waves, so it's like 2 at a time. So 2 or 3 the ads at a time, where you can see in the entire room. So it's kind of a long, drawn-out, unnecessary fight, Sorry. Just because they're coming slowly in waves. Like, it's not like 2 or 3 ads are going to kill you. Like, if you go back to, I forget exactly what the duo was called, but it's that one, like the Bruce Manor, like one with all the clowns in the beginning, all the Joker goons. Like, you fight like a room full of ads at once. So they can easily do a duo where you're fighting like 8 to 10 ads. Like, they don't hit the heart at all, don't have much health. But it's just kind of annoying just to kind of like kill 2 ads, wait a few seconds between the spawns, then kill another 2, and then kill another 2, and then kill another 2 until the entire room's dead. It's just drawing out the duo on for kind of a pointless reason, just to make it pretty tedious. So they do need to kind of change that, but that's an easy fix, I think. So there's other people have given feedback on the forums about that. So. For one, hopefully I can give feedback soon. For whatever reason, my privileges are revoked. I can post everywhere else on the forums except on testing feedback. So it's like, yeah, let's have the player. I think there's only one player in the game that tests more than I do on the test server, and that's Penrin. And we're the only 2 that actually provides like video feedback. So the dev's like, I can't replicate this. Like, can you show me video? Me and him are like pretty much the only players that actually do that consistently. So, if the dev asked me to show him a glitch or something like that on the test server, I can have it recorded, rendered out, and uploaded to YouTube in like 10 minutes. So the duo itself, once you kind of clear that tedious room, then basically you teleport into a new section. It's going to be, you remember it from the live stream where it's that room with like the 3 thrones. And basically you're just fighting some ads between the hallway. These ads aren't too bad, actually. they're unique in the fact that like they're gonna start right away with like Sonic Shout. So if you're like a combo power set, that's gonna kind of get semi annoying there, like especially as like Celestial or Atomic or something, because you're gonna get like not perma stun, but you're gonna get stunned like instantly from the ads because they're just spamming Sonic Shout. And essentially they're just like the mental visages. But yeah, we're coming up to the first boss here. It's going to be Clarion and Tikal. I think it's pronounced Tikal, the cat. So some of you guys may like that. It's a very quick fight. It reminds me of the fight from one of the Hades duo where you fight like those 3 dogs. Kind of similar concept. So basically, you fight the cat. The cat's going to CC, the hell out of you, so don't too worry about DPS. You talk to Satana, and she puts you into the bird form, and basically just hit power 1, which basically breaks out the cat from pinning down enemies. You can see here that I was pinned for a sec. So it's kind of getting annoying because if your duo partner doesn't turn the cog on Zatanna, you're just going to sit there for, was it like 10, 15 seconds, something like that, until you break out from it. So that's kind of annoying if they don't break you out from it. Then the second part is you can see these like little yarn balls falling. If you get hit by the yarn ball, you're going to get encased, like you can see Drown did there. And you can't break out of the ball. You just basically got to sit there. But Tikal doesn't have much health at all. There is some damage. You can see my combat logs up. It hits you for like almost 4k each. This is at 264 CR, so it is still fairly low. Not fairly low CR, but considering that max CR is 262 on live, coming to the DLC is 264. So my CR is pretty close to what you'd be running at day 1. But as you can see, the damage isn't too bad at all. And then basically just clearing some ads. This is that throne room from the live stream that you were seeing. And then basically coming up here, kill the ad, turn the book. I think there's like a briefing or something over there. This is kind of what I was confused with as well. There's a little mini cutscene of him talking, and then you got to turn that question mark on the book, and then basically that'll start the cutscene with Shazam. And you can kind of see all the new like character models. John Constantine got an update, Zatanna got an update, and then Shazam obviously did as well. I do believe someone tested that they aren't the new character models in Legends. Shazam's character model wasn't updated. I'm not sure if that's intended or they actually mentioned that. So we'll kind of hang out here for a second just while this cutscene plays.
Calm down, everyone. Shazam, we can explain.
So that we need the Hisarama to catch up to Clarion. Let's go.
Give it back, Constantine.
Okay, so with this fight, this is the fight that's certainly going to get an adjustment from test. It is quite annoying on test the way it is now, just because it doesn't... Well, it works as intended, it just doesn't work as smoothly as it should. So basically, you DPS Shazam, you knock down maybe like 10-15% of his health, and then he'll spawn these 2 orbs. What you have to do is you have to pick up the orb, walk around those electrical bursts, because they're going to knock it out of your hands. And then you basically have to smash the orbs on Shazam. The problem is when he does this, if you screw up, he does his Shazam Orbital Strike Lightning Bolt or whatever. That's going to hit you for like 20 to 30k. So if you screw up often, you're going to need a shield on. You're going to need a healer almost, because you're going to be taking a lot of damage. And there's only, I think there's 1 healing crystal in there, but it's only 1 and it doesn't respawn. So they certainly are going to fix this compared to what it is on test server. So basically, you have to walk around, avoid those like electric traps, then smash the orbs on Shazam, and then basically he'll come out of his trance, and then you can attack him. And then basically what I said before, you can only do about 10-15% damage, and then you go back into the same phase. So it's a little buggy how close you can get to him to smash the orb, how easily the orb can break out of his hand. So sometimes it'll be very easy. Sometimes it'll take you like 15-10 minutes. You can also technically solo it as well. So even if your partner is not helping at all, you can tell him just to kind of sit back and watch. It can be soloed, this part. You have enough time. The only thing is, if you wait too long, like for the perfect moment, then he'll go into his other phase and lightning bolt you as well. So it's one of those things that can happen. So you can kind of see here once we get it close. So it tells you to smash the orbs on him, but you can't even smash them on him because you can't get close enough to him. So it's like you have to be like, 5 feet away from him and then smash it on the ground, and you'll see the sigil pop up. So they could certainly make that work better logistically, as well as they could lower how many times you have to do it, because every like 5 to 10%, it's a little bit tedious. But it'll still look pretty similar to this.
Shazam, we need your help. Clarion broke in here first. We followed him, but he got away. We think he's tied to the entity in the sky over Gotham.
I'm sorry, I got a little carried away with defending this place. What's happening in Gotham affects us all. I'd be happy to help, so long as Johnny Conjob leaves my stuff alone.
The wizard's Historama couldn't divine a damn thing about that dodgy flying linguini monster over Gotham. So I say, let's stock up on artifacts to help fight it. Argus, the advanced research group of underwear and stretchy pants or some such, has a black room full of magic doodahs. Meet me there and we'll nick us some rich stuff.
Once more.
Okay, so we're on to the open world missions in Chaos Gotham. There's going to be 3 daily missions. There's going to be 3 weekly missions. So basically Dr. Fate, Phantom Stranger, and Zatanna is going to be your daily missions. There's an Argus drone you have to talk to for a weekly. Batwoman's going to be a weekly. And then there's one other weekly as well. I forget who you talk to for that. But essentially, the open world missions aren't that bad. The one thing, like, kind of tip I can give you is that since there's a lot of ads and a lot of close proximity and a lot of kind of open world missions that are overlapping, it's not like Atlantis where like there's a different section for each for each daily mission. They're kind of all mixed in around the same area. So if you want to get in, get out, and then without having to kill a bunch of ads, you should probably put a shield on your rotation just to use it for turning cogs and whatnot, just so you don't get ganked by a bunch of ads. But besides that, really the only thing in the open world, everything's really spread out. Like where the vendors are to where all the ads can be. It's not like it's a long hike, but just think of it from it's the same distance in open world Gotham, so you get used to it. So there's a lot of buildings you got to hop over your super speed. Flight wouldn't be too bad. Acro might be a little bit slower, but there is a pretty decent distance between all the vendors and all the missions and solos, because basically you're running from like one PD station almost to the next, because you got Diamond District, you got the park, and then you got to run to the museum. I forget what this is called in open world. But yeah, really all the missions are straightforward. Turning cogs, waiting to kill ads. There's some missions where you kill it. Like it's a similar concept to the missions that are in Amazon Fury Part 3, where you're teleported to that section of Gotham as well. So it's very similar to that. But yeah, most of them are just kill missions, turn some cogs. Like there's no mission where you have to like run and protect. As you can see right here on the screen, that little purple node, that's a part of one of the weeklies. There's no weekly where it's like, you know, kill 500 ads or anything like that. The only counter feat is those 54 mystical notes, which is basically those purple nodes. They don't show up on the map. You can kind of saw it briefly there flashing. So if you're flying over, it'll flash purple, but it doesn't actually show up on your map. Initially I thought that was pretty annoying not showing up because you couldn't find it, but there's sections of the map where they're much easier to find. So I was doing it solo pretty quickly, so it's similar to like the you know, the 100 chest feed or whatever it was called for Atlantis. So it's very similar to that, where it might be an issue on live when, you know, there's like, you know, hundreds of players out here trying to run it, but if the respawn rate's pretty quick on it, then it shouldn't really matter. But just like the Atlantis mission, if there's a bunch of people running it, it's hard to find nodes. But I don't think they need to make it so they show up on the map, because they're easy enough to find. The only concern there would be if you don't play with their graphics up, there might be an issue seeing it or rendering. That I'm not sure about. I think all my graphics are default set to normal on test server. Like they're not on high or anything like that. So if you do play on like low graphics rendering, that might be an issue. I don't know, I could try to test that and see. But right now the feedback on that weekly is fine. But yeah, pretty much there's no interesting open world missions. It's basically just like kill this, you know, turn this cog, stuff like that. Like there's no like interesting one, which I wouldn't say there's only any interesting ones in past DLCs. It's just kind of, you know, get out. But that's about it. Let's see, there's probably, trying to think how many actually open world missions are there. I know there is variations. Like you don't see, I only did 3 in this video, but I'm trying to think, there's probably is like 6 or 7 different like daily missions you can get. I think probably each individual has probably 2 or 3 missions that can give you. There's no feat currently for, you know, doing each mission or anything like that. I don't think there's any feats associated with the open world missions, but once again, on test server currently the feat list isn't completed yet. So I can't really show you exactly what those feats are going to be, but at the moment I don't see any open world missions at all. And then same thing, your reward is just like an exobyte, 1 mark, and then a loot box as well. Okay, so this is the first of 3 weekly bounties. Like I said, the first bounty was just running around open Gotham, Chaos Gotham, and getting those purple flashing nodes. You have to do that 54 times. The second bounty is bugged right now on test, so we can't complete it. I do have some concerns about that one because a part of it you have to pull and kill a certain ad on a sigil, or just kill an ad like color matching sigils. But the problem is that since it's open world, any tank can pull those ads away and just grief you, and you can't even complete it. So, but I can't give final feedback on that one because it's bugged. We can't complete it, so I don't know what it's supposed to look like. So we'll see what happens there. This is technically this is a 4-man bounty. It says in the mission track that it's 4 players, so that's why possibly it could be so easy, because it takes just a few minutes to kill it with, you know, 5 players, a tank, and 4 DPS. So an 8 group takes like less than 2 minutes to kill this thing, and that's 8 marks. So that's got to change. But the only thing is here, you see me, I think, die a couple times. This Daemon, he'll do this like 2-handed slam. It's slow and telegraphed, you can see it, but it'll kill you if you're in front of it because it's like 80k or something like that. But you can easily roll out of it, so it's not an issue there. So basically, it's a skull. He'll slam it, and then you just die if you're in front of it. He'll spin around like it's not like an aggro move. It's like a detaunt, but you just roll it away and you're fine. So, or if you've got a healer or something, you can pop a shield and survive with it. It's not going to kill you through a shield. But like I said, the difficulty certainly needs to be scaled up a lot, because if this gives 8 marks and can be done in like 3 minutes, you're gonna have a full vendor set in like a few hours on live when this hits. So that's a little bit ridiculous. If it's a 4-player, it's got to reward 4 marks or something like that, or just crank the difficulty, because if it's meant for 4 players, you know, when this hits live, there's gonna be like hundreds of players running around in open world killing this thing. It'll be dead before you even, like, you know, walk down the street. Especially with all the orbitals and such coming out. But once you get geared up, you don't even need a tank. You just need like a healer, because the only part that he hits hard is just that attack. The rest of the stuff is just like straightforward attacks that you can heal through. That heal can heal through. That you don't even need a tank for it. So I know there's some issues with difficulty with the Atlantis content when it first came out. Like you could pretty much solo that weekly, the Swarm one. So that'll be interesting how it plays out. The other thing as well is with that Swarm bounty in Atlantis, if you miss the ads at the beginning but just kill Trench Mother, then you don't get credit. Where this one, you could basically run up, and if that guy's at like 2% health, if you hit it with one attack, you get full credit. So it's just not working how it should be, or how it should be in terms of it hitting live. So we'll see with the feedback on that one. But that's essentially what that bounty looks like. It's straightforward. It takes about 3 minutes. But take care, guys. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for all the other videos.
Nice work. Together we can stop the demonic.